Want an easy way to see if you could save money on car insurance? Geico gives you 3. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Go online to geico.com or stop by the Geico office nearest you. 3 ways you could save 15% or more.
What are you rocking out for, Stugotz? You're shaking a fist. Is it because you like this song? You know this song and like this song? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that, and it's a combination of the song and this Miami Marlins team, which is going to take over this town. I'm talking 62-62. They win both games at a doubleheader yesterday. Just 5.5 out in the wild card. Won 8 of 10. It's amazing. Right in the thick of it, man. Guillermo was right all along. You owe him an apology.
Thank you. Finally.
Welcome back.
And Stanton, too. Apologize to him for
What
all
were
the
you
things
right
you said.
about?
Everything. Everything. And all these people. The Marlins are back. We never went anywhere, babies. We've been here the whole time. Woo! Dan, we control our own destiny. We play everyone ahead of us. Big weekend series against the Brewers. We play the Rockies, who we just swept. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we're hosting the wild card game here.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right, Dan? Right?
Is it outside the realm of possibility? No.
They're only half a game ahead. Why? They're only half a game ahead of the second place wild card team. We're going to be hosting that game, and it's going to be lit.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's become a 5-team race in the NL wild card race. 5 teams. That's it. Just 5 teams, and the Marlins are one of those 5 teams, and that's all you can ask for. Really, seriously. You lose Jose Fernandez, and you have a team, a pitching staff that's not very good, and you're going to play meaningful games into September. And that's all you can ask for as a Marlin fan. That is it.
All right, can I ask you this? Because Stugotz's take, Stugotz is solidified. Mike, would you say that over the years, Stugotz's take every time at this time of year is wherever the Marlins are, it's all you can ask for? Like I've been doing the same show with the same guy for 10 years. When it comes to the Marlins, he doesn't know anybody who's playing for them, and all he does in August is we're doing the show of this is all you can ask for.
I would say you're probably giving the Marlins a little too much credit. They haven't been this good that often.
Yeah.
No, they have been 500 quite a bit in August, actually. Surprisingly enough, they've been at or around 500. They have been. Because
I don't think so.
Because every time they are, we do the show. They're 8 teams ahead of them for the wild card. You've been doing this show. You were doing this show before the winning streak. You were still doing this show.
I like this show.
You were doing it a week ago. You were doing it 10 days ago.
It's a fun show to do.
This is about the latest I can recall doing this show since maybe the second year in that stadium.
I think so, yeah.
No, last year they were pretty good, and then they fell off, and then Jose. And
There have been a couple of Augusts where they're right. They're not right there. They're right there according to the Stugotz math of this is all you can ask for.
No, they are right there, Dan. Like, who's that much better than us? The Brewers, please, again with that. Let's just spare us all.
I mean, that's Stan's World Series favorite. Let's take it easy.
Right, yeah.
The Brewers
Great offense.
The Brewers have fallen apart since I declared them good at hitting.
I know you want to make fun of Stugotz for having that take often, but it's an on-the-money take.
This
is all you could ask for.
It is, yeah.
The reason I'm making fun of Stugotz is because every other time he's had that take, he's been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You only need to be right once, though. Like, if we're right, he's right.
Yeah.
Dan, so few teams make the playoffs in baseball that, of course, if you just say they're not going to make the playoffs, you'll probably be right.
Yeah. Why not us,
Step
Dan?
out on a ledge, Dan.
Why not us?
Yeah, why not us? We're only 5 back in the loss column.
Because you have no pitching. That's why not.
No, we have pitching. Don't worry about that.
Who are your aces again?
Guillermo, what kind
Straley.
of retort is that? We have pitching. Don't worry about that.
That's the appropriate response. Don't worry about the pitching. That'll take care of itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone will step up when they need to step up, Dan. Mm-hmm. You know the best part about this?
Wait. Who is that? Give me the name. Who's the guy who's going to step up when he needs to step up?
Well, it depends who gets called upon. Whoever gets called upon will step up.
Let's say this wild card game that you have them hosting. Who's starting it? Is it Straley?
Oh, it's Straley. He's our ace.
Yeah.
It's not you go down with your ace,
It's
man.
not Unena?
No, it's Straley,
It
Bill.
depends on the scheduling. We'll see. We'll see who steps up. I mean, I'm more than confident with whoever they put in there. We'll get the job
More
done.
than confident.
Yeah? Hello?
Wow, beyond confident.
Yes, beyond confident because
Really?
Miami will show up and we'll have a home field advantage that has never been seen before
Yep.
in this game.
Absolutely right.
That's right. I believe in this fan
They
base,
better
Dan.
not make that game like on a weekday at 1 o'clock because nobody's going to that.
It will be, though, right?
Well, yeah. That would be so stupid, right?
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
I mean, Straley, Greinke, you feel good about your chances there, right?
No, it won't be. It won't. No. We'll see. I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? We can mash with the best of them. Dan, 19 runs yesterday. How about that? 2 games, 19 runs. Boom, 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 boom. Ichiro, bomb. Did you see how far that went?
They can hit. They can hit.
Yeah, but they also gave up 12 runs
Right.
in 2 games, which is problematic.
That's all right,
but
man.
Milwaukee's
The point
doing
is to
that too,
outscore
though.
your opponent,
Milwaukee's doing that too, so you're okay.
Yeah.
We only need to score one more run than we give up, and we're good.
That's
The
right.
best part about this, Dan, is that if you forget about the fact that we were 13 games under 500 at one point, we were 13 games over 500.
Since then.
Yeah, that's great. And the reason we fell off was because of the strength of our team, the bullpen that blew all those games. But now we're back. We're 13 games over, Dan. 13 games over.
The one thing I can give them credit for, as they've mismanaged an assortment of things as a franchise, is they have figured out that part about the bullpen where they get rid of guys all the time, and most of those pieces are interchangeable, and they'll get somebody in there who can either close games for them or be setup man reliever, and almost all of those pieces feel interchangeable.
Yeah. They have done a good job with that. You're right. It's
I mean, over the years, they've done that well for like 15 years when, Borowski and Alfonseca and all those guys
Like a new
end
closer
up
every
being
year,
your
yeah.
closers.
On this date, the last 8 seasons, they've been at 500 4 of the 8 seasons.
Huh, how about
Right
that?
where you want to be.
I've only
How
done it
about
4
that?
times. Yeah.
Thank you, Fets
Look
and
at that.
Info.
Dan was right.
Very good.
Well, no, but I'm
Holy
telling you,
Dan was
because I'm
right.
used to doing the show with Stugotz. Anytime they approach 500, it's the all you can ask for show.
I guess I don't remember the shows because I always tune out.
Yeah, well, he doesn't offer anything else
all I got,
other
yeah.
than just like getting what few fans they have fired up, because he's like, oh, only 6 teams ahead of you for the wild card, and every year I'm like, there are too many teams ahead of you. You're not good enough, and every year I'm right and Stugotz is wrong, and every year we end up back here with this nonsense, because the 4 out of 8 doesn't even count the other times where they're like 4 or 5 out of 500, and Stugotz is also doing that show.
I'm not certain I did. It seems like you're exaggerating. It seems like I do this show every other year, just based on the math.
No, I think 4 of 8 is every year, and then the other 4 they might have been close a couple of
Stugotz
years.
just worked you with math.
I did. How's it
That's
feel?
a terrible feeling.
Why do you have to be such a rain cloud, Dan? Like, why can't you just be happy? You have to be right. That's
No,
what this
wait
is
a
about.
minute.
You just
But-
want to
no,
be
but
right. They're
here's-
going to, okay, Dan, they won't make the playoffs. Fine.
Because
So-
Bill's right here. You love Miami, and you want the teams to be successful down here, and you want the fans to have a good time, and this is fun. Like, it just got fun. It's just getting fun right now.
I'm not disputing that it's fun. I'm not disputing that this is exciting. What I'm saying is they're beating up on a lot of bad teams, and the fact that they're 500 is a bit of an illusion because
no.
they
A lot of bad teams. These appear to be teams that are ahead of them.
Yeah.
Colorado, I just checked out the standings. The Rockies are really
Yeah,
good.
The Rockies are really good.
But he means they're beating up on the Phillies and teams like that,
Yeah.
I think is what he
yeah, but we have to
means,
play
right?
every team. We just got the
You
hard
gotta
part
beat
of the
up on
schedule
those
out of the
teams.
way.
You
yeah.
gotta beat up on those
Yeah.
teams.
Just play the schedule, Dan.
Yeah, that's all we can do, Dan. Play the schedule we get.
He is a rain cloud, but instead of water, it's
Are you feeling good about something in sports? Not for long, buddy. It is time for the urinator.
go give your take.
Wow, you really forced that imaging
did.
upon us.
Yeah, it's a rain cloud of pee.
It's a rain cloud of you guys not working very hard at producing things around.
Hey, that is unbelievable recall. Yeah. Unbelievable recall.
Good job
What
by
do you
you,
mean
Mike.
it's
Impeccably
unbelievable?
produced.
Everyone calls me the urinator. Recall because you remembered that we had that
Yeah, that we
sound?
put the work in. I have to go through the J drive. There's so many sounds that we produce that we never even used.
You got to think Stanton's the MVP, right?
Oh,
I'm being
I mean-
serious here. You have to think Stanton's the MVP.
He's been really good.
Yeah.
Wrong about that one, too.
Yep.
Can he
Actually,
be
you
MVP?
know what? You
Yes.
know what? I have been wrong about that one. That one I'll admit I'm wrong about because when he was swinging
Billy
and
was
missing,
never wrong about that.
no, when he
I
was,
always believed in him.
Look at Guillermo can't even stop laughing at himself. His face is red with his turned off microphone laughter of I've never stopped believing in him.
I mean, Mattingly's been pushing all the right buttons, moving him to that 2 hole. They're going to win one for Mr. Lawyer on the way out, aren't they?
NL Manager of the Year, huh?
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All it takes to get Billy on your side is get to 500, and all of a sudden he rolls over on his back. He's the guard dog that rolls over on his back and allows you to rub his belly.
So easy. Just be 500.
What happened with Stanton? I heard he changed his batting stance, and that went somewhere.
No, I mean, when they put him in the 2 slot, that is where everything changed.
Yeah, and they tightened up. He closed it off a little bit.
Yeah, and the old adage of getting your timing down in the home run derby, which always helped sluggers.
No, it
Working
wrecked,
for Judge.
It wrecked Aaron Judge.
I've seen that on Twitter. Home run derby got Stanton locked in. This goes against everything that I've heard.
He's been going crazy, and the thing that I've been wrong about, the urinator, I'm willing to admit wrong on, even though you guys say I never admit wrong on anything, is what I said earlier this year when he was swinging at everything that was outside the zone is why would anyone throw him in a strike, and then furthermore saying if you're going to give that kind of money, you got to give it to a sure thing, and he's been a sure thing.
Yeah,
like I was indicting it because he wasn't Mike Trout, but this season he's been a sure thing. Like he's having the season that you pay for when you make him the highest paid player in baseball.
So you in or you out? Right now we need to know. No flip-flopping.
No, I'm out.
What?
Out.
Why? What?
Listen, this is an important decision. I want you to rethink your decision because if you're announcing today you're out, you're not allowed back in.
That's fine. I'm out.
Well, he's out.
Because their pitching hasn't been strong enough in August and September. Every other time that they're at 500 in August and September, and it's not strong enough now either.
So you're Marl out.
I'm Marl out. Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
I'm not Marl in. I'm Marl out.
Mark the tape, guys, because he is not allowed back in. Okay?
Yeah, mark the tape and play all the other tapes when we were doing this show, and Stugotz was doing that thing that he does, which is just get the fan base that's listening by his side and say whatever you need to, even though you can't name 3 players on the team.
Can I be in? Am I in?
You're in.
It's up to you. You Marlin or you Marl out?
I'm Marlin.
All right.
Roy?
You
Marlin,
can't be
Marl out.
Marlin. You don't know anybody.
Today's the day. Today's the day. Marlin or
Listen,
Marl out?
declare it right now. You're Marin?
Marlin.
Yeah.
Marlin. Okay. Marlin. Sorry. Did I leave the L out?
Yes.
Roy?
That's because you're allergic to L's.
You know who else is leaving the L's out?
Yeah.
Well, so are the Marlins.
Miami Marlins.
They should be called the Marins. Let's call them the Marins. Yes, Marins.
Because they're so averse to L's. That's right.
Stu, you Marlin?
Florida Marlins.
I'm Marin.
They're not even the Florida Marlins anymore. They changed from the Florida Marlins to the Miami Marlins.
Roy, you Marlin?
Yeah, sure.
Chris?
I'm Marlin.
Allison?
Allison's not paying attention.
She's Marlin.
It's too bad.
Now, quick question. Since I'm Marlin, do I actually have to watch the games?
You can't be Marlin if you don't know any of the players. In fact,
I know the players.
All right.
They got Prado.
That's right.
He's not third anymore.
He's not what?
He doesn't play anymore?
He doesn't play anymore. Are they calling up Brian Anderson, their top prospect?
They should, yeah.
Dude's mashing.
For the stretch run, yeah.
Muto. You got Dietrich.
Yep, good job.
So that's how you're Marlin by
got-
just remembering the guys, the names
You
that
got
you
D.
can.
Gordon. Oh wait, I'm killing it right now.
He knows this from this app game we're playing with the Marlins lineup in it.
Yeah. No. That's
Come on,
tricky
Mike.
because I have Mike Trout on the Marlins.
You got the best outfield in baseball. Come on, man.
Ozuna, Yelich, Stanton, easy.
Yeah.
You got Pat Rapp.
Who's playing shortstop for the Marlins right now?
Echeverria.
Wait. No, Echeverria got traded.
Where
He's
did
a
he
Tampa
get
Bay
traded?
Ray.
Yes, he is a Tampa Bay.
Riddle was the shortstop, but he got hurt. So this
see?
is a trick question.
Yeah, Marlin.
A trick question that I know the answer to. Undoubtedly, it is Walt Weiss.
It's Alex Arias.
Oh, Arias. I loved Alex Arias.
Why did I change the pronunciation on his name?
I don't know.
Arias to Arias.
Yeah.
Alex
Because you had him
Arias.
as a Florida Marlins.
Arias. I did have him as the Florida Marlins.
Why are you Marl out?
Weird.
I told you
You're
already.
the only one.
They don't have enough pitching.
Oh, that'll take care of itself. We went
You-
over
you
this.
mentioned that already.
Channel come back. We'll be
We'll
great.
outscore him, man. Oh, that's right.
Chen?
Yeah, Chen.
Oh, you
For the love
got
of
Chen
God.
coming back. You got Straighty because he keeps CLs out.
That's right.
I mean, that
Led by
changes
Giancarlo Stanton because
Yeah.
he keeps CLs out.
changes everything. I mean, Greinke versus Chen, you feel a lot more confident.
We could win 100 games this year.
We probably will.
Maybe they could be the Marwins instead of the Marlins because they're changing L's to W's. The Marwins.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's spectacular.
All right, every L is replaced with a W.
Marwins. Yes, I like
We're all
that.
gonna
John
sound-
Carlo
We're gonna all
Stanton.
sound like Elmer Fudd.
I love Giancarlo
I
Stanton.
love this. I love this. Just any.
Let's go, Marwins.
Wee Gordon.
That's not how the game's played.
Wait a minute. He doesn't know how to play the game. Does he think his name is Lee Gordon? Like, he doesn't know how to play the game. How amazing was that? He backed away from the microphone as if he had the note to end the segment on "We Gordon," and he had changed a D to a "we." What are you doing?
It's not Lee.
You
Listen, we're talking Marlins baseball in September. That's all you can ask for.
What did you just do?
We're talking Marlins baseball, going at it as hard as
what
we can.
just happened there? I don't want to let this go just yet. What just happened where Stugotz turned D. Gordon into We Gordon? Someone explain it to me. Someone. We are not.
It's flash.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy, right?
Right.
And see, when they call Geico, they could save a bunch of money on car insurance.
Oh, really? And that makes them happy?
Yes, that makes them very happy.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could have this talk, sunshine.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Dan Le Batard.
You know what? He got me excited for baseball season in this Marlins team. He really did.
You are so full of it.
Not even close to fired up.
Stugotz.
Last time you went to a Marlins game, you went in a Mets shirt, and they put you on the Jumbotron.
They sure did.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
If you're just joining us and you don't know what happened at the end of the last segment, I'm going to try to explain it to you, but also beyond that, it is the end of the last segment as shining a testament and tribute as I can think of as to why it is that we need each other. I'm going to explain to you how all of that would have worked out if we didn't have each other.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, for some reason, we were talking about the Marlins poorly. And Stugotz, for some reason, took the L out of somebody's name when pronouncing it, and we got, to joking about how the Marlins are allergic to L's. They don't want L's anywhere around them. And then Mike Ryan suggested that we all start talking like Elmer Fudd, where we take the L out of everything it is that we're saying as it relates to the Marlins.
Yeah, because we're replacing L's with dubs.
Yeah.
So it becomes Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, they become the Marlins.
Okay, all right. But so now, if I had been left to my own devices, I would have never arrived there. Okay, I wouldn't have been doing the show where that's where we arrived.
We watch games called by Todd Hollinsworth.
Yeah.
So that's one reason we need each other, because I wouldn't have stumbled upon that by myself. But here's why Stugotz needs me.
We'd probably be talking about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, or Kyrie Irving. Now I'm doing all the spelling in the names.
Yeah,
I'm doing all the spellings in the names
so easy,
before
huh?
I say them.
Yeah.
Not so easy. All right, so now we get to the Stugotz portion of this. I wish that you guys could have seen what Stugotz did while we were playing this game, because it's only the most Stugotz thing ever.
I love Rich Waltz. He's the voice of the Marlins. Dan Batard.
Now,
Love.
Stugotz has really perfected this particular role where he gets to be sort of the second chimer inner, and it allows him. See, this is the point that I was going to make for how it is that we need each other. This is the way that Stugotz needs me.
It's a great role.
If I were not here for Stugotz, that last segment would have ended with Stugotz confidently changing D. Gordon's name to We Gordon and then pushing away from the microphone confidently like Dwayne Wade on the no-look when he's lobbing the pass behind him on the alley-oop to LeBron James with the Miami Heat in Milwaukee. Because Stugotz thought he nailed that. That segment would have ended with Stugotz going, We Gordon, and then being really pleased with himself. and the audience would have been like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. Why did you change D. Gordon's name? Why did you put an L in D. Gordon's name?
Yeah. Flash.
Well, but that's the thing. So you get to come back around and correct your mistake. What would have been a segment that would have simply ended on you confidently going, "We, Gordon." We sit here, stare at you, make fun of you until you get to circle back around and fix it with Flash. An opportunity you never would have had because you would have been dancing during the commercial break, not realizing that you'd gotten "We, Gordon" wrong.
Totally fair, man.
I just wish we could show people how confident he was at "We, Gordon" and how all of us were staring at him like, what just happened there?
You're right. I thought I had it, man.
I just love to know what you were thinking. I'd love to know what your thought process was.
Man.
Did you think his name was Lee Gordon? Did you have Robert Lee on your mind?
I can't explain it.
Look at big smiling Guillermo back there. He is so palpably happy. Why were you sick yesterday? You just wanted to stay home and watch the doubleheader, didn't you?
No, it started at 4. Come on.
Yeah.
I was vomiting.
Of course you were.
Oh, well.
What was wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
So you just threw up all day and then just came to work?
Today?
You don't know what's wrong with you. You don't know why you were throwing up. You don't know what was the matter with you.
No, I mean, it stopped, so I'm good, right? I think. I don't know.
Maybe get that checked out.
I'll be fine. Come on.
All right. Just like the Marlins pitching.
Yeah. My body will take care of itself.
I love that as analysis, by the way. Headed into the back end of the season, down 5 games, and the analysis is, the pitching will take care of itself.
It will.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Become a pitching expert? It'll take care of itself. Come on, Dan. It's done so far.
The way it'll take care of itself is the Marlins will lose and then be out of the playoffs.
Oh, this again.
Oh, wow.
Super Marl out.
Enough.
There isn't a hot young prospect they can call up to boost their pitching staff?
There's never a hot young prospect for them to call up. The Yankees have fixed everything that was plaguing them, and the Marlins have spent 10 years in this place where they betray their audience all the time, trading pieces, and their farm system still stinks.
Nick Owino tonight.
Oh, I like him.
Getting the hang of it.
It's so fun, Dan. Why don't you want in on this?
Because
Get in on this.
You need a straight man.
No.
Otherwise, it's just a show being goofy, celebrating itself. I'm telling you, you need a straight man with this stuff. I need to get annoyed with what it is you guys are doing. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of dopes celebrating a 500 team.
So I got it. You are Marwin, but you're pretending to be more loud.
This is sincere, but you guys should be grateful that it exists.
Isn't Mar out now? I'm so confused.
No, I'm Mar out. I'm Mar out.
You're Mar Wout.
But just because you're being the straight man, you actually believe in the team.
No, it also helps that I'm the straight man, but I actually believe it.
It does help, but you don't need to force it. Like, occasionally you're allowed to jump in.
They're playing well. They're playing well. Stanton's going crazy. He's playing the way that you carry a team. And they're beating up on a lot of bad teams, and this has been a real nice run. What Guillermo's saying is right. Winning at a pace that's 13 games over 500 since they were 13 games under 500 is really good.
What's the best offensive measurement? Is it OPS for you? Is that it?
They're a good offensive team.
No. I'm asking
because it's OPS.
Yeah, because I really believe that this is. I think Stanton deserves more so than Bryce Harper to win NL MVP. I do.
He's at about 1,000, right? He's at about 1,000.
He's 1,026. Bryce Harper's 1,034. Of course, Bryce Harper is hurt. I think this is Stanton's year. He's third in Major League Baseball. He's third. John Carwo.
He's been
National League MVP. It's been great. I mean, Bryce Harper's ahead of him, Votto's ahead of him, Goldschmidt behind him, and Aaron Judge is fifth. He's third in the major leagues in OPS, man.
Wow, there was only one L in there. Goldschmidt was the only one. I think everyone you said there wasn't any other L's. I thought you were going to start doing that again. Paul Goldschmidt.
Don Batard.
Hey, gravy vampire.
I'll stop laughing at these. I'm sorry.
Gravy vampire is good, right?
Stugotz.
I don't even know what it means exactly. Like, what am I doing? Am I just showing up while you're eating gravy and I wait for you to consume it and then I attack your neck so I can get the gravy as it goes down?
You suck the gravy out of people.
Right, okay, but I wait. I just hang out at like Golden Corral waiting for people to put extra gravy. Like, how does this extraordinarily niche vampire work?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Sometimes around here, we get dumped by either Mike Ryan or the board op at 790 or the board op in Bristol, Connecticut for ESPN. So I don't know if you guys know how the last segment ended, but I'm going to explain it to you. I tried to say, now, if you're just joining us, some of this is going to be confusing. I just tried to say Paul Goldschmidt without the L in Goldschmidt. For some reason, I left the L in Paul. So, in trying to say Goldschmidt without the L, I instead had the cleanup man for the Arizona Diamondbacks going to take a vulgar dump. Paul Goldschmidt. That's how it would have been said if we had beeping live in real time. But instead, we just had to dump it because I said that Arizona's best hitter, the name was Paul Goldschmidt. It doesn't even make any sense.
You took out the L,
now,
the D.
I feel like I now understand what happened to Stugotz on Wee Gordon.
Thank you.
Paul Goldschmidt. Did you just say it wrong again now? Did you just say flash wrong?
I said flash.
So, Guillermo, what happened to you? You were so sour and bitter. I don't know how you get to be right. You were so sour and bitter on the Marlins. You want everybody gone, and now all of a sudden you get to be right?
Yeah, because I saw this potential all along, and they weren't living up to it, and I motivated them to play their best. Boom.
And wasn't that Tom Jackson? Didn't he say that one time? Instead of apologizing for something that he had said about a team, he just came on and said they reacted the way I wanted them to. Didn't Tom Jackson had some sort of controversy where he circled back around and said that he took credit that Stugotz and Tom Jackson was very strong. See if you can find that story.
I do feel like it all comes from a good place, though, my criticism, right? Like, it's never bad, like, with malice. I mean, I guess it is.
You were pretty mean to
Malice.
You had a lot of malice when it came to Mattingly.
Well, him. I mean, but yeah, it's because, I have such high expectations for him. Is that so wrong to expect that my team is great because I believe in them, Dan?
Yes,
it
is so
bad?
wrong.
You believe.
I believe in them.
It is wrong, yes.
Tom Jackson claimed he picked the Patriots to motivate the Jets. That's what he did, to motivate the Jets. TJ.
I'm with Stugotz on this. I feel what Stugotz is feeling right now, which is Stugotz is trying to be helpful here, and he's the one looking this up. And I looked at one of you to see if one of you would be looking it up, and none of you were looking it up.
I feel we.
Stugotz has a little undercurrent of bitterness. I feel.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I feel
I do not.
Why does it say Dan Batard? Why did you write that down on a
I
sheet
had to
of paper?
make sure I was saying it properly. Don Mattingly.
You wrote down.
You should have wrote down Paul Goldschmidt correctly.
You should have written down Wee Gordon correctly.
Flash.
Are we going to have to do this for another day?
Oh, God, no.
Rest of the season.
As long as the W's keep coming, we got to keep it up, right?
Yes.
Now we have to keep doing it?
Yeah. Donnie Baseball.
Do you think we'll ever get good at it? Do you think we'll be able to just speak, like create another language that doesn't have L's in it?
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Do you think, Mike's enjoying it because Mike, anything that it could be annoying, Mike like seizes too. It's a part of the job. It's anything that could be annoying, just jump on it and squeeze it with both hands.
I don't want to ditch the L's entirely here because if it works the opposite way, I want to replace W's with L's. Like if Wade goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dwayne Lade.
Would it be delayed Wade?
There you go.
Delayed Lade.
Yep.
Delayed Lade.
Yeah. Delayed Wade.
Delayed Lade.
One thing at a time.
Delayed.
So Kevin Durant's really hurting you, right? By not having anything that can play there, because in your personal record book, he wouldn't have W's. He wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put some L's in there just for Kevin Durant, just because in your personal record book, he's a loser.
It's Kevin Wayne Durant, so it would be Kevin Lane Durant.
Excellent.
Yeah. And he ceases playing for the Dubs. He starts playing for the L's.
Yeah, the Warriors.
That game's not as fun.
You guys do realize that we're going to now have to start calling him Jeffrey Warrior.
Not for long. That sucker's headed out of town.
Not for long. I'm not even doing a radio show anymore.
I don't know
I'm just trying to keep this game up.
Yeah, I noticed, Mike. I noticed a while ago that you stopped doing what is, your job, and we're just looking for places that you can take out an L.
It's affected me off the air because when you said that Paul Go Bleep line, I told Chris, put that in the quub.
Paul Goldschmidt. I said it incorrectly. That was fairly amazing, the way that I said it. I wish the show that we could do here off air would be better than the show that we do on air, because I wish you guys had been able to see how all of us reacted to Mike needing to dump me saying Goldschmidt as poorly as you can say it. Of all the ways I could say Goldschmidt, the way I said it is the worst way I could have said it in all of the history of communication.
Listen to this clip. You can actually hear Dan DeFoyt.
Paul Gosh. It is that end. Like, I just quit on the segment. Like, we like to end a segment with a joke. It was the last thing I had to say in the segment. Mike just dumped me, and then we just sort of petered out on the segment. Paul Gosh. That's the better show. The better show is the one that we're not allowed to do because the mistakes can't be celebrated. Or is it? Is the better show working within the confinements here to point out the mistakes?
We've carved out anti-establishment from within the establishment.
Well, you're going to be speaking this way for the rest of your life. I hope so. Like, I hope that this is the gypsy curse, that you get stuck. I hope that you get stuck in a situation where you are cursed by, in fact, gritted death. 1 week, you gotta use.
That's way too challenging.
You gotta use no L's in anything you say to anybody for a week.
How confusing is this going to be when someone slips up and does this in the national hour? And they're just, for whatever reason, they're just W's instead of L's.
Yeah, then they'll open up the quub.
Well, I think we shouldn't explain
Colin
it.
Kaepernick.
I think at this point, the show prides itself, and there are enough people around it now that the show can behave confidently. I think at this point, the next evolution of this show has to be that stuff that happens in the local hour that infects the national product is something that goes unspoken. That it's sort of a layered show so that the people who are listening locally are going to be the only ones who get some of the jokes that are happening nationally. And then it's not explained. It just, somebody who's listening for the first time thinks that we've got a bunch of producers with like learning disabilities
baby producers. It will make it challenging to discuss the trade between the Sutics and the Cavaliers.
I mean, that'd be annoying. It really would be. Like, it's got to be more subtle than that. It can't be everybody.
Would be annoying. No, we have to pull the plug on this immediately.
Well, no, I think everyone but you. I think I'm down. No, since you like annoying others
I don't
so
like
much.
This.
Yes, I think so. No,
I
but precisely for that reason. Since your job, like you view a portion of your job as being, how can I actively annoy the people involved here because it'll be funny content for radio if they get annoyed. I think we should burden Mike Ryan with anytime you want to speak today, you have to speak avoiding your L's. Oh, look, Mike doesn't want to do it now.
I'm all out.
Yeah, look, Mike's out. Yes, he's all out on the Mullen.
Care about this that
yes,
much?
That's right. He's all out.
Super annoying. I like speaking normally.
What do you guys think? He's refusing. How do we get him to do it? How do we get him to just the whole show speak as if he's got some sort of strange lisp that turns L's to W's.
Guys, how do you force me to do something against my will?
Yes.
Perhaps drug me? I don't know. You're not. Spoiler alert.
Wow. Well, I need to start behaving that way.
Well, no, you just tell him that's what you want him to do. I mean, I think
that doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
I don't want to replace L's with W's the entire show. That is a hell I do not want to live in.
I know, but you've been living in that hell by your own will here right up until we say we want it. See, this is the key to being you. Once it's annoying us, you're good with it. You'll do it for the rest of the time. But once I say, okay, now you have to do it, I don't want to do it anymore.
No, it ceases being cool.
Cool is what it is.
It ceases being
cool. Talking like Elmer Fudd is what you think is being cool. Okay. Just making sure. Cool, excuse me. It's very difficult when the L's at the end of words there.
Very difficult. It's way too hard. It's very challenging.
It would be annoying. I would not enjoy the show doing it that way as you, looking everywhere for L's and having to replace them, which is why I have now announced that this is how you are to do the
I've
entire
told
show
you,
today.
Doing this show, I'm like a fighter pilot. I make a million decisions a show.
Right.
And I can't be preoccupied.
Well, now you are
by
a fighter
changing
pilot
my
with
L's
an Elmer Fudd list.
with W.
You're a pilot. You're a
That
pilot.
changes
That's right.
exactly what I am. Now I'm wearing an eye patch and I have a
That's right.
pilot.
That's right. You're a pirate.
Well, now I've become Tony Fiorentino. See, it's very hard to shut off.
Well, it's very different because you were a pilot, but now you're a pilot. So it goes from that sounds like it's going from a plane to a boat, and it's also going from a plane to whatever it is that. What was the age of the Viking?
It's a plane.
It would be a plane.
You do want to do it?
No, I do not.
It seems like you do.
It sounds like you do.
I do not want.
You're
to.
saying it'd be your hell, but it seemed like it was your heaven about 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's what
It was
changed.
getting old.
What changed? The only thing that changed is that I
was getting
started
old.
embracing it.
It was getting old.
Stugotz.
Yes, you started embracing it.
And once
yes.
I embrace it,
it's no longer annoying you.
Well, one of the things that's funny is you guys don't seem to have realized that this is a thing for 15 years around here. Like, no matter how many times I've told you, guys, the bit has to be me annoyed. And then you guys realize that it's an easy bit to do. The easiest bit to do is the one that annoys me.
I just show up.
I really don't want to do it because it's hard. It's very difficult. It's so hard.
But look, here, let's go back to this production. Let's go back to the last sound that you looked up and the last sound that you played. And so people can understand that everything about this entire production is meant to annoy me.
All right, I can't tell if you want the urinator or the Paul Goldschmidt here.
The urinator.
Okay, because the last sound I played was you
The
deflating.
urinator.
Are you feeling good about something in sports? Not for long, buddy. It is time for the urinator.
That exists only to annoy me on a very poorly produced radio show.
No. Radio is theater of the mind. No, that's an R. It's not ladio. You have to paint vivid pictures with audio. It's a challenge.
Please teach us.
It's a challenge that I have been tasked with to paint a vivid picture for you sitting in your car or your office or on the subway listening to us on demand. And I have stepped up to that challenge, ladies and gentlemen.
With that production, like, when's the last time something was produced on this show that didn't have this production quality on it?
Are you feeling good about something in sports? Not for long, buddy. It is time for the urinator.
It's my dad saying something with music from the 1950s.
I feel, Mike, like I feel him getting defensive here in a second. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's...
I'm not getting defensive.
Okay.
I'm not getting defensive.
I saw. Maybe I misread you. I felt like you were getting angry there.
I'm not getting defensive.
Was that David Blatt you were doing before, by the way?
Spider Pilot?
Does he think that that's well produced?
Let me
Wait a
pull
minute.
that audio.
Stugotz, are you alleging that Mike Ryan is proud of the production of
man.
this? That's what you're alleging.
I'll take all criticism when it comes to the urinator. Deserved.
I don't know how many of the things that are produced on this show are like that, but I feel like we're encroaching upon half of the things. Like, whenever we need my dad to produce something, it's just, here, we lock him in a box and we say this thing, and we'll put some music on it from the 1950s, and it's going to be the bare minimum effort on how it is that something like this would normally be produced.
These are trade secrets you're revealing.
My poor father. I think we need to hold out again. Like, he's not making enough money.
No, we're going to get him something. He's been a total champ during these suies. We did bench him for mispronunciation because that would just be way too confusing.
You benched him for one of the categories?
We've done that before every time.
Because
the whole key to mispronunciation is you have to hear how the word is actually pronounced beforehand in order to get how badly Stugotz is.
Who'd you bring in? Is that a surprise? Did you brought someone in to replace Poppy?
We brought someone in to replace Poppy.
Okay. All right.
So that's you working around the limitations of the show. That's good coaching right there. That's good coaching.
I mean, I like to think I'm okay at this. I just don't think I can be okay at replacing L's with W's the entire show.
So you only have to do it today. It's only one day. It's a one-day only thing where you have to replace as much as you can all of your L's with W's.
Guess we're playing 18 Sueys today.
Really? You can't speak? You cannot speak? Oh, William H. Macy's back today.
Yes.
Oh, look at this show today.
William H. Macy. We have a good show.
Yeah, David Simon as well.
Yeah. We have 2 Sueys. I believe we're going to unleash the debut of the Stephen A. Smith category. I'm very excited about this.
Wow.
And dismissal. Another favorite.
And we've got a legitimate sports story to talk about today.
We got a few. We got the Miami Marlins.
Yep.
The Cavaliers trade. Oh, God, I can't do this. Wavion Bell's holdout.
Wow.
Is that for real, the Wavion Bell?
Yeah.
Wavion released sort of a teaser saying that he'll be back in September.
Guillermo, put it on the poll.
He said September 1st.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Should Mike Ryan have to replace L's with W's?
Put it on the POW.
Yeah.
Put it on the POW.
Well, it's a POW.
It's already confusing for me, and I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's annoying.
Well, Wavion figured it out because he hasn't signed that tender, so he doesn't get fined for training camp days he misses. I am talking so slow to not mess this up.
You just tweeted out his return date, 9/1/17, followed up by another tweet saying you are welcome.
It's funny. That's the way to hold. That's the way to hold out. Right,
missing
there.
Training camp and not getting fined for it because he just hasn't signed that tender.
And the team, according to Jeremy Fowler, is off on September 1st.
So wait a minute.
And the second and a third.
So wait a minute. So we've just got
brilliant.
So wait a minute. We've just got sort of an anarchist holdout. He just doesn't want to come to practice. Like, what's happening here?
It's just so smart.
And he's not being fined anything?
He can't be because he hasn't signed the tender.
Correct.
They can't find someone who's technically not under contract, even though he is, because the rights are still belonging to the Stewas.
But he's not making any money either, though. You're saying that it's brilliant, but he's not being paid anything for what he's doing now either, right? Whereas if he were to just come into camp and get fined, he'd be working and making some money and then being fined.
He'd be making some money, but this is a negotiation tactic because clearly he's not happy with that franchise tender.
But he also knows he has to sign it, so it's $12.1 million, and he's just saying, "Hey, I'm not coming to training camp. I'm not playing in any of these preseason games. I'll show up when the season starts." Essentially.
Well, what is the best move, though, in terms of brilliance? If you don't care about consequences and if he's just screwing around with the public, which is something that I love, right? I don't like the serious holdout. I like the foolish, silly holdout that, that doesn't make fans angry because it's fighting over money and all that gulf that there is between fans and athletes that's layered in money. Wouldn't the smarter play for him be to sign the tender reluctantly, to announce that he's signing the tender reluctantly, and then hold out so that they have to pay him something, but they're fining him for holding out? And so that way he's holding out with principal and making some money because he's under contract, as opposed to now where he's just holding out and he's not making any money.
Right. I guess
is that how it works if he doesn't sign the tender, or is he still making money off a previous contract? I don't know the machinations of it. It seems very confusing, but I do know he comes off like a boss or a boss.
Well, he comes off like he knows how to handle these situations that historically athletes have been very poor at getting the fans on their side over. And now, obviously, in Pittsburgh, fans aren't going to be on his side, but nationally, we know the value of that guy.
Right. You don't think Pittsburgh fans will be on his side? They don't care. You think they care about this? I think they care if he just signed the tender and come in and play regular season.
They worry about disruption, distraction, all that stuff. How much does he care? Right. Is he pouring